Baltimore General, an episodic medical drama. Written by Blue Bolton. Episode 1, Transfer of Care, Chapter 11. Emilia jabbed the elevator call button, leaving a fingerprint smudge on the brushed metal. Her mind raced with Jordan's falling vital signs, while her stomach knotted from Bird's veiled warnings. She could still see Grace Hanley's pale face in her memory, could still feel the chill spreading through D.C. General's halls as colleagues stopped meeting her eyes and stopped saving her a seat in the cafeteria. The doors slid open with a soft chime. Dr. Shaw leaned against the back wall, arms locked across her chest, gaze fixed on nothing. Emilia's step faltered for a heartbeat before she entered. The doors sealed them in with a whisper. "Jordan's ammonia levels are climbing again," Emilia said, punching the ICU button. Shaw's dark eyes shifted to her face. "I know. Ordered new panels 20 minutes ago. Just got the page. I know that too." The elevator crawled upward. Neither reached for the panel. Neither shifted position. Emilia traced the tense line of Shaw's jaw, the rigid set of her shoulders. Something about this case had burrowed under the surgeon's skin, something beyond clinical interest. "I've seen this before," Sloane said suddenly, her voice tight. "And so have you." Shaw's eyes narrowed to slits. "I've seen a lot of things. Doesn't make them meaningful." The elevator hummed around them, a suspended metal box caught between decisions. Emilia's pulse quickened in her throat, though whether from Bird's threats or Shaw's proximity, she couldn't say. "The bowel injuries we found," Emilia pressed. "That pattern of trauma. I know what it looks like. Stop pretending." Shaw's gaze held steady, unflinching. "You're new here, Carter. You don't know the history." "I know trauma when I see it. We both do." Emilia stepped closer, refusing to back down. "You need to stop being afraid of what happens when we name this." "So do I." Something flashed behind Shaw's eyes, anger, frustration, something raw. "I've been treating that kid 3 years. His mother brings him to every appointment, advocates when others dismiss him. That doesn't mean—" "I know what it doesn't mean." Shaw's words sliced through hers. "I also know what accusations do to families already hanging by threads." The elevator inched upward, 3 floors to go. The air between them thickened, compressed. "Bird called me to her office," Emilia said. Shaw's expression flickered. "Of course she did. She suggested delaying my report." "And what did you tell her?" Emilia met Shaw's gaze head-on. "I told her I'd follow the evidence, just like I did before. You can't keep running from this, Sloane. Neither of us can." Something in Shaw's posture eased subtle approval. "Good. You don't agree with her?" Shaw's laugh came sharp, bitter. "Bird and I rarely agree on anything. That's why she tolerates me from a distance." "She mentioned Dr. Winters, said I should review Jordan's history with him." Shaw's jaw muscles bunched. "Winters misses diagnoses a first year would catch. Make decisions based on what you saw in that OR, not his fairy tales." 2 floors remained. The elevator seemed to slow, as if sensing the tension building inside. "I know you're scared," Emilia said, her voice softening. "I've been where you are. I've seen how these cases can go sideways, but you can't keep hiding from what you know is true." Shaw studied her, eyes unblinking. "There are a lot of things I'm not telling you, Doctor. Carter, we've barely known each other a day." "About Jordan, this case. Stop deflecting." Shaw's silence stretched. When she finally spoke, her voice dropped lower. 3 years ago, Jordan presented with similar symptoms. Not as severe, but similar. Winters managed the case then, diagnosed it as seizure complications. The boy recovered, went home. "And you disagreed." "I never saw the case. only heard about it later when he returned with a broken arm. Then again last year with a concussion. Each time, plausible explanations. Each time, Winters signed off. Emilia absorbed this, and now he's back with internal trauma matching abuse patterns. Just like Grace Hanley. You can't keep pretending you don't see it. Or matching a kid with multiple conditions who seizes and falls regularly, Shaw countered. Medicine isn't always black and white, Carter. One floor remained. The elevator crept upward. You don't believe that, Emilia said, watching Shaw's face. You wouldn't have let me document every injury so meticulously if you thought they were accidents. Stop being afraid to say what you know. Shaw's gaze sharpened. I document everything meticulously. That's proper medicine. That's not what I meant. Then say what you mean. Heat flashed through Emilia's body. Frustration, challenge, something else she refused to name. Shaw was deflecting, shielding something, or someone. I think you've suspected abuse before, Emilia said. I think you've tried reporting it and been blocked. I think you're cautious now, not because you doubt it's happening, but because you know how things work here. Shaw's face remained impassive, but something flickered in her eyes, surprised at being read so accurately. You don't know me, Carter. I know enough. I know what it looks like when someone's too afraid to speak up. I've been there. Emilia's voice dropped to a whisper. I won't make that mistake again. Neither should you. The elevator stopped. The doors hesitated, remaining closed a beat longer than normal. Whatever you think you know, Shaw murmured, be careful who you share it with. This hospital has ears everywhere. Is that a warning or a threat? It's reality. Shaw straightened to her full height. Baltimore General isn't D.C. The politics run differently here. The power structures run deeper. Medicine shouldn't be political. Shaw's laugh came genuine this time, if bitter. Everything is political, especially medicine, especially when children are involved, especially when money talks. The doors finally parted, revealing the bustling ICU corridor. Neither woman moved immediately. If you're reporting suspected abuse, Shaw said, voice low enough for Emilia alone, make damn sure your documentation is flawless. Have answers for every alternative explanation, and be prepared for the consequences. I always am? Shaw's eyes narrowed. Are you? Because from what I hear, DC General didn't end well for you. The comment struck a nerve. Emilia kept her expression neutral through years of practice, but her pulse jumped against her throat. You've been checking up on me. I like to know who I'm working with. Shaw's gaze remained unapologetic, especially when they start questioning cases that matter to me. The implication hung between them. Jordan wasn't just any patient to Shaw. There was history, something personal. I'm not your enemy, Doctor. Shaw. I don't have enemies, Doctor. Carter. I have colleagues who help me treat patients and obstacles who get in my way. Shaw leaned closer, her voice dropping further. I haven't decided which one you are yet. The proximity sent an unexpected current through Emilia's body. Shaw smelled of surgical soap and something else, something subtle and unexpectedly appealing. Their eyes locked, and for a moment, the professional tension transformed into something entirely different, electric and dangerous. Emilia's breath caught in her throat. Shaw noticed, of course she noticed, and her expression shifted. The clinical assessment in her eyes became something more personal, more assessing in an entirely different way. The moment stretched between them, taut with possibilities neither would acknowledge. Shaw's gaze dropped to Emilia's lips, then back to her eyes, the movement so quick it might have been imagined. Dr. Shaw, we need you. A nurse's voice cut through the tension. Jordan's pressure is dropping again. Shaw stepped back, her professional mask sliding seamlessly into place. Coming? She brushed past Emilia, her shoulder grazing Emilia's arm. The brief contact sent another jolt through Emilia's system. Emilia lingered in the elevator, gathering herself. Whatever had just happened, whatever had almost happened, crossed every professional boundary. She had a husband waiting at home, even if their marriage had grown cold. She was still finding her footing here, and Shaw clearly swam in hospital politics Emilia didn't yet understand. And yet, something had flickered in Shaw's eyes in that final moment, something that had nothing to do with Jordan's case or hospital politics, something that had made Emilia's heart pound in a way it hadn't in years. She stepped into the corridor, forcing her focus back to medicine. Jordan needed her attention. The potential abuse case needed her advocacy. The situation with Bird demanded caution. Whatever had sparked between her and Shaw, whatever had simmered in those inches between them, would have to wait, if it deserved addressing at all. Emilia approached Jordan's room, where Shaw already stood at the bedside, examining monitors and issuing orders. Her movements flowed with precision and control, everything expected from a surgeon of her reputation. Nothing in those movements betrayed what had passed between them. Nothing suggested Shaw felt anything but clinical focus. Emilia drew a steadying breath and entered the room. Jordan came first. Everything else, Bird's threats, Shaw's warnings, that unexpected heat between them could wait. For now, there was only the medicine. Or so she told herself as Shaw's gaze briefly caught hers across Jordan's bed, that same electricity arcing between them for a split second before they both turned to the monitors displaying Jordan's worsening condition.